Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UPNradio.com.
Thank you. Welcome to all of our friends around the country and around the world. This is Ron Frierson. Welcome to another edition of Focus with your man, Ron Frierson. I'm your host. To my left here is my brother, Mr. Woody Wilson. Hello,
What's
Woody.
up? What's up, Ron? Happy National Women's Equality Day. To
I
all
did
you
not
women
know
out
that
there.
existed. I
Yes.
didn't know it was national. Women are always equal in my book. So happy National Women's Equality
Day. Yes. To all you women out there.
Yeah.
All those beautiful ladies.
All you beautiful ladies, happy Equality Day. What do you do? Barbecue? What do we do?
I don't know. I think we just show them our appreciation, or I don't know. But
that's good. That's
I
something
gotta
we should do.
look more into that.
Gentlemen out there, we should always show our ladies appreciation. We came from a woman, got a name from a woman, and our game from a woman. Who said that?
Tupac.
That's right.
Yeah.
right.
It's National Women's Equality Day.
It's fantastic.
It's a presidential proclamation today. So
If
you don't know, now you know.
Now we know, and that's fantastic.
Yep.
Now, our custom, like I go into this every week, our custom is for us to start off with my rant, my observation, and so this is what I'm going to rant on today to start the show. Unbeknownst to Mr. Trump, in his reach out to minority communities, he's essentially saying that your schools are this, you live in poverty, you done this and that. Not all of us come from the ghetto experience,
Well,
Mr. Trump.
say that again.
Not all black people come from the ghetto experience.
Yes.
This is not, Good Times was a show. It's not a documentary. Okay? It's not a documentary.
That's funny, Ron.
And it's true. Not all of us come from this experience. I come from a two-parent household. Woody comes from a two-parent household. Both of my parents worked, because we're from Michigan, and the automotive industry went through ups and downs. So there was times where they were out of work or laid off, but come from a stable family environment. You got a president who's black. You got a first lady who's black. You've got attorney general and former attorney general, both of who are black. You have Kenneth Chenault, the CEO and chairman of American Express. He's black. We have across the board so many African Americans that have come up and done great things in life, or just come up to have a progressive, healthy lifestyle, and not all of us came through the hood. If you listen to Mr. Trump, you would think
the majority of us
all
have
of us.
not.
Yeah, probably the majority. Now, it is true that we are disproportionately, as a segment of the population, affected by these types of things. But let's think about that, too. How much of that is due to housing policies or access to housing? How much of that is due to access of jobs? And remember, the housing policy and education go hand in hand, because most schools are funded through taxes, property taxes. So if you're in situations where there's not really fair housing, or you denied access to housing in certain areas, and these areas have to depend on property taxes in order to pay for schools so you can have adequate schools, then that just blends and just goes into this entire mixture of what results in this urban problem, so to speak.
Right. But not everyone has fallen victim to that.
And remember, I went to college in Kansas. I know people from rural Kansas who are, guess what, Donald Trump? Black. And they're not from some urban sort of, hanging out on the street corner type of deal.
Where you get shot if you walk down the street.
Where you get shot, yeah. It's not like that, man. So by you having the platform that you have, and you just perpetuating this myth, and you're pushing this myth, you are actually doing yourself a disservice.
I think, that was probably, he doesn't know. For him to say that, he obviously has no idea about black people. He doesn't have any black friends. How could you have black associates and friends who are obviously doing as well as you are, and you make a statement like that? You don't know anything about black folks. You know nothing about Latinos. You just he's in a bubble.
Part of me wants to say that he's just being disingenuous and he's talking to the crowd that he wants to attract, meaning that he came up in New York, which is obviously a very, very blended place. And typically what happens, and we both know this, depending on your economic situation in life, if you are middle class, upper middle class, lots of times you're more educated, you have access to more diverse people. And then once you go down in the economic ladder, lots of times that's where things kind of segment off into more tribal type of environments.
Yeah.
So if where I live and then with my education and my circles and your circles as well, we have very diverse sets of friends, close friends. They're almost like family. It's very diverse. Right. But if you go down a couple notches in regards to just economic mobility, then lots of times you'll see sometimes you'll see, if you're a Latino and you may not be at a certain educational economic bracket, you may or may not migrate more to East LA. If you're black, South LA. If you're white, some portions of the valley. So it tends to become more tribal. The less, and I don't even like to say that word, with less access, you tend to become more tribal. I guess that's the best way to put it.
You're a product of your environment. So
exactly.
If you can only afford to live in lower income housing, then you're going to be around a bunch of folks that's in similar situations. So
exactly. So Don, get your facts straight.
Get a fact straight. At least get one fact straight.
At least one. Woody makes a good point. Get at least.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, we've lowered the bar in this contest to the lowest level in history. I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's not even funny. It's sad.
It is sad. So I don't know if Jarvis, if you have this graphic, but there was a Washington Post headline, the front page of their paper. I think it was maybe today's or yesterday's paper, and it says that we have a bleak choice. We have a choice between a liar and our drunk uncle.
I like I like that. I like Hillary, but she has been lying quite a bit. Have you seen that commercial with her and Bill where he says, "I did not have relations"? With that, and then they flash back, flash back to Hillary. She's like, "I did not send any illegal emails."
Listen.
I mean,
Bill.
That commercial.
And I know that a lot of people disagree with me, but I know a lot of people that do. Don't bring up Bill Clinton's situation because all of us would have denied that. Well, every single one of us are supposed to deny that. He's not going to get up there and be like, listen, I did this.
Have you heard that song? It wasn't me.
Yeah.
You called me in the shower. It wasn't me.
And that's why it didn't go too far. Now, in order to stay in good with our significant others, we have to say, oh, Bill was just terrible. But most dudes would have said, you know what, I would deny it too.
He was supposed to lie, man.
Until it just got thrown in his face where he had no choice but to fess up. But most of it would deny it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I've been watching a lot of Fox lately. I decided just to tune into Fox. And I kind of, after a while, I forgot I was watching Fox and started to kind of fall victim to some of the misnomers and BS. I mean, it's very interesting how left side versus right side, how they interpret the news and how they dictate or speak the news on air. And for those folks who just only listen to Fox, boy, you're in some trouble.
Well, and the simple fact that with Fox News, they pride themselves on not being part of the quote-unquote mainstream media. So that means they consider themselves an alternative form of news. So if you consider yourself an alternative form of anything, that means that you're looking for a specific niche, you're looking for a specific space and area wherein you can operate, and you're going to get listeners that want to buy into that mindset. So if they themselves are telling you that through their constant comments about the mainstream media, that means they're saying by and large they are not mainstream, which means they do not give in to common logic or just the common viewpoint that should be taken into account by all Americans.
Yeah, they like to
They
abuse
want to carve out a niche and go that niche.
Yeah.
Now, and to their credit, the left has its forms of niche, but it's not as far niche on TV as what Fox is. So the left wing equivalency to Fox, so to speak, would be MSNBC, but but it's not a fair comparison because they are much more nuanced than what Fox is.
Right.
On that right side of of the equation.
The Fox's objective is to spin the story for the conservative white male. Even the commercials that are run during those hours. I mean, even I sent you a clip. You got that. I texted you a little clip of the woman they interviewed. It was on Fox.
I saw that.
They find the most ignorant African American to ask a question to, and coming up next, and they show this clip, and I'm just like, how in the world? Where did you find this woman?
Now, let me tell you, if I were,
it amazes me.
If I were coming from a different planet or different country, and I didn't know what the African American experience was like in the United States, and I had to listen to Fox News,
and that's all you had to watch, right? That's all you watch.
Fox,
you would think black people were ignorant.
Oh my God! If I had to, if I had to use that as a barometer of this is the typical African American and the typical African American experience.
Amazing.
Other than Juan Williams over there, I would not have a good sense of this group of people.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, this guy called in the C-SPAN real quick, and he was I forget the host name, but he called in and he said, what do? I am prejudiced. I am prejudiced against black people. How do I go about getting over this prejudice? He was genuine, and the response was equally as genuine. And she suggested that, first of all, you start to get to know some black families. But, watching Fox, and if I'm a white male and I watch Fox News and that's all I watch, I'm prejudiced. I'm prejudiced. There's no way around it because the way they shape the conversation and the clips that they show of African Americans, it's just
there's a purpose behind it, and everything.
What is the purpose?
Everything has a purpose. There's nothing that happens within the media in the media sphere that is not without purpose, and perhaps that purpose is to link and chime into a certain segment of the population that will continually view you and will buy from the companies that advertise on your network, but it's not to say that everything on Fox News is this, that, and the other, but it's definitely on the opinion side, it leaves a lot of objectiveness out of the window, although they claim to be fair and balanced.
I'm going to start paying attention to the advertisers on Fox to see who these folks are.
Yeah. So listen, as we move on to other things, there's been, as you can see from the Facebook post, there was there's been a debate going on between our two major presidential candidates as to who's a bigot. Donald Trump came out and called Hillary a bigot. Hillary called Donald Trump a bigot. Now, I don't think Donald Trump actually knows what the definition of bigotry is. If he did, then he should have known that would not apply in that circumstance.
Right.
He even tried to equate it with her being lazy. I just don't think he has a real grasp of the issues, understands the gravity of the situation he's in, and how these incendiary comments do not bode well for someone who wants to hold the highest office in the land.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have a video clip.
Show
it. I think you either have to, and this is the clip where I think that he's calling her a bigot flat out. You have that clip queued up for us? You don't have that? Well, there's a video clip that hopefully we'll find it here soon, where Donald Trump is in Mississippi, I believe, and he's speaking before a crowd at a rally, and he says that Hillary Clinton is a flat out bigot,
but the way he said it was
because the policies that the policies that the Democrats have enacted and championed over the course of some generations, they are not working for African Americans and minorities in general, including Hispanics.
And he says, what do you have to lose?
Because of that, they're bigots. Now, a couple of things. The only place where it's some light in what he's saying, there's absolutely no light or any sort of truth behind her being a bigot, in my opinion. I really don't believe that whatsoever.
No, just look at her history.
Yeah, but I do think that the Democratic Party, in some respects, can take African American and Hispanic votes for granted, and their policies and what they say on the stump has not always been materialized in regards to real measures. And they need to be sure to back up what they say during the presidential campaign in regards to investing in our inner city communities, to investing in education and things of that sort. They need to actually do it.
Inner cities have looked the same as long as I can remember. You could drive down the streets of Detroit, right?
Exactly.
And not much has changed.
Well, there's new development
Columbus.
going there, but the new development isn't really positively affecting the people who are from that area. What's happening is the regentification, wherein now money influx, and because there's a trend now that most people want to move into city centers, and so there's a lot more development happening in city centers, but they're moving people out. We got that video queued up, Jarvis. Let's play that video real quick when he called her a bigot.
Hillary Clinton is a bigot who sees people of color only as votes, not as human beings worthy of a better future. She's going to do nothing for African Americans. She's going to do nothing for the Hispanics. She doesn't care what her policies have done to your communities.
Did you see the latest expression behind him when he said bigots?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh my God!
And I don't know if, and maybe I have one of my Latino friends come on one day, but I don't know how they feel about being segmented like that, like the Hispanics. I don't know how they feel about that.
They feel the same way we do, and you know what?
Like the African Americans, African. The thing is that this is the United States of America, guys. And there has not been a time in our country's history where we didn't have African Americans here, either as full citizens or as slaves. But we have been part of the American experience from the very beginning. From the very first time there was a shot fired in the Revolutionary War, we've always, to the time when these were colonies, before they were even full statehood or became a nation, we've always been involved. It's not like we just came over here a couple of weeks ago and now we're segmented and have to be pushed off to the side. It doesn't work like that. And the same thing for the Latino experience, in that we are all ingrained, and to somehow
we're more alike than we are different.
Yeah, to somehow be categorized as an alternative or alternate group of citizens that need to have certain things.
We all want the same thing.
We all want the same things. Basically, access, and it's a do for us. I mean, there's one thing that, just me personally, and a lot of people may not agree with me on this one, but opportunity. Just provide
opportunity,
a level playing field in regards to opportunity. And that doesn't start, after you have already graduated. It starts from the moment when you come out the womb. That means the same sort of access to education, the same sort of access to housing, the same sort of access to food, because especially in young developing brains, I said this before, in young developing brains, it needs proper nutrition. And if you live in a food desert in some of these inner cities where they can't get fresh fruits and vegetables, and these kids are growing up on processed foods and junk food, then how are their brains going to develop and function to get to a point when they learn in school,
That's right.
assuming that the school is up to par, wherein they can actually do something in their lives.
It all boils down to education.
It boils down to education and access. If you make everything truly adequate and equal, then a lot of this other stuff will go away.
That's right.
It will go away. It will truly go away. And that's the cure. But no, some people like inequality in certain respects. In a certain respect, I mean, and make sure you get the right my intention behind this. Capitalism is built on inequality. I'm a capitalist, so that means that your level of talent and your level of aspiration, your level of ambition may take you higher than someone else, but there's a certain set of fundamental ground rules that should be established for everyone.
Right. I mean, when the gun fires, pow! Everyone starts from the same starting line, and whoever finishes that race based on their ambition, their enthusiasm, their education, or whatever they decide to do with a good start, it's up to you. But at least give the good start. And education has fallen way behind in these inner cities, Donald Trump, that you are referring to. That is not the average everyday African-American person that is in that environment. But we've got to look at the inner cities and fix them. And education, and also, like you said earlier, Ron, it's about getting a good, nutritious meal to help feed those young brains, because they're not.
Exactly. But I do believe that there's an economic benefit to someone. There's an economic benefit to someone to keep someone else down.
Yes.
Maybe that economic benefit would be so they can always have
definitely
cheap
liquor
labor,
stores benefit.
Cheap labor.
Manufacturers.
Exactly. Cheap labor, vice. There's something that can be made. I mean, just think about if there was no poverty, would there be charitable organizations that people work in? Everything
is interlinked.
Everything is interlinked. There's always a beneficiary of whatever condition is at play. Right. If there's a disease, then there's a need for a drug to treat that disease, or there's a need of a doctor to treat those people that have disease. So someone's benefiting from the most catastrophic conditions that could possibly happen to anyone. Someone's always benefiting. Right. Real quick, I got to say, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 323-843-2826. And if you guys are watching through our Facebook stream, thank you so much. I actually see a comment from my little brother, Damon Frierson. I love you, boy. And so anyone else, and then also people that are listening to us through the UBN app, thank you. You guys that have subscribed to our YouTube page, thank you. You guys have subscribed through iTunes, thank you. Stitcher, thank you. We're all over the place, over 12,000 viewers a week.
Nice.
It's fantastic.
That's growing, man. Hey, listen, so you're talking about where there's someone else's downfall, someone benefits, right? But I can't figure out why Congress, and I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about Zika, because the FDA now requires that any blood donations are screened for Zika.
Yeah.
And I can't understand why Congress won't step up to the plate and release the funds that are necessary to kill this thing in its tracks, because Miami is suffering now from the effects of Zika. So
I understand that Zika now is to a point where the national blood supply is going to be tested for this virus, and it's actually not just transmitted from a direct bite from a mosquito to an individual, but also is transmitted sexually.
Sexual contact, yes.
If you have no symptoms, and people they can be asymptomatic with no symptoms whatsoever, and if that's the case, you have to abstain or have safe sex for at least 6 weeks. And that's without symptoms. If you have clear symptoms of Zika, it could be up to 6 months that you should abstain or exercise safe sex. But the simple fact that it's growing,
and the result of Zika virus is encephalitis, a shrunken head syndrome with your children, the babies with the small heads. So mosquitoes, clear out any standing water on your property.
Exactly.
Just wipe it down, dry it up, whatever you have to do, especially down south, because it seems to be penetrating. Came from the Caribbean, now it's moving up to America from the south north. So
I've always wondered why, and I haven't heard about it that much in other countries. But one thing about, and we don't want a whole generation of kids to come out looking like Lil Wayne. So, but there's an entire.
That's actually worse than Lil Wayne.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the Olympics down in Brazil, and Zika was an issue there. You had a whole influx of people, not just the athletes,
international audience.
Yeah, the international audience that came to that area, which was ground zero for Zika.
Right.
And then they leave, either asymptomatic or symptomatic, and they go throughout the world, go back to whatever country they come from.
Right.
And then that means that there's a possibility, and I hope this doesn't happen, but there's a possibility that Zika could be spread to all of these different countries.
And we'll know here very shortly the results of the
crazy?
Olympics and how many people were exposed and how they. And speaking of the Olympics, Ryan Lochte.
Ryan Lochte.
Yeah, Lochte.
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand what his purpose.
We all
other than
know.
trying
Listen,
to make himself look like a hero.
Listen, we all came. I don't think he was trying to make himself look like a hero. He was
He
trying
put
to
a
make
gun
himself.
to my head, and I said, "Whatever, dude."
We all know those privileged jerks.
Yeah.
He happens to be one. This is not the first incident that he's been involved with. I've learned that he's had other bratty type of incidents.
Yeah.
Where because of privilege, and you know those snotty dudes that just don't have character. He has talent. He probably has privilege, and he's just not very. I'm not gonna say a nice guy because I don't know him personally.
Smart.
Not only is he not very smart, he obviously has a false sense of privilege, where he thinks that he can do whatever he wants to do.
That's a great way of putting it. That's a great way. And he lost millions of dollars in sponsorships. Good for you, because there was no reason why. You throw Brazil under the bus. They did everything they could to be hospitable, to make everyone, to keep it safe. And then you go and say someone dressed in a police uniform robbed us at gunpoint. That is not a nice thing to do. I am embarrassed that you are representing America and making up those lies, and that's not cool. So you deserve whatever you have coming to you. In addition, if they decide to press charges, I know there's not an extradition situation here where America will force him to go back, but he will be essentially landlocked, because once they report that to Interpol, he's not going to be, 190 countries around the world will soon find out, and if he scans his passport in any one of those countries, he's going direct to jail too.
One of the things I don't want him to get the quote unquote death sentence. I just want him to be shamed to the point where he understands that this is not the way you conduct yourself as a human being. I don't think he should go to jail. I don't think he should be banned from traveling to other countries. I don't think that we ought to throw something at him as if he was an international, child molester.
But it's not up to us.
I know it's not up to us, but I'm just saying my opinion on it, which this is what I do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the circumstances are the circumstances. I mean, if Brazil decides to press charges and then they report him to Interpol, he's landlocked. He can't leave the United States of America. He better get a very smart, savvy attorney in Brazil to represent him. Otherwise, he's going to be in some serious trouble.
I don't think he's going to be in serious trouble. There's
he can't compete if he can't leave the country. There's a competition in Germany.
Well, he can't compete he's suspended for 6 months.
No, I'm saying if Interpol.
Oh, Interpol. Yeah. I doubt if they take it that far. At the end of the day, they're going to have to look at the gravity of what he did. So at the end of the day, at its base root level, what did he do?
Well, they pressed charges against him.
He pressed false charges.
Right.
I mean, he made false accusations. Yeah. That's what he did.
Right.
Also, he vandalized the bathroom.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, what he did was make false allegations, and he vandalized the bathroom.
Correct.
That's not something to hang someone over, but it is enough to make an example of him as to how you should not conduct yourself if you're visiting another country and you're representing your nation. So put the proper punishment in the proper perspective. That's all I would say.
Well, listen, he's got to, they want him to come back and deal with it. He's not going to do that, because he may stand a chance of going to jail. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't, then he's in trouble. I mean, he's got to, he's going to have to come out of his pocket and get this all cleared up. Either way, Ryan, I'm sorry, yeah. Brian, whatever your name is. You messed up, man. You really, really messed up. So, I'm wishing the best for you. Of course, you did represent America, and you did a wonderful job, and we appreciate.
He won one medal, and that was in the relay, so he didn't do that great. Yeah, but he made his name in this Olympics in a different way. Yeah. But check this out, though. So from Ryan Lochte, real quick before we go further, I need to throw a shout out to Javago watches.
Javago.
Pull it up, Jarvis. Javago watches, fine premium brands, men's and women's styles, a various array of colors, bands, faces, color. Did I say colors already?
You said colors.
I said
colors,
it twice.
But they got many colors, though, so you can say it twice.
Go check out www.javagowatches.com. Again, www.javagowatches.com. What I would do is I would go and pick out whichever style I like, and then I would go from there to Amazon and get it at a discount, because they are premium timepieces, and so they're not 1995 Casio time.
We don't do 1995.
This is the real deal.
Ron Frierson.
That's right. So go and check out Javago watches. Also, Nanobright. I spoke about it last week. I'm going to say it again. A lot of people give me compliments on my skin, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And as a dude, you're not really accustomed to getting compliments on your skin. And well, it's because of Nanobright.
Wow.
Not just my parents, because they celebrated their 43rd wedding anniversary this past week, and they made me.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But also because of Nanobright. Nanobright is basically is vitamins for your skin.
Yeah.
And it infuses you with vitamin B3 and vitamin C, and they have everything engineered down to a particle level or particle size where it can penetrate the skin, and it pretty much alleviates sun damage, hyperpigmentation, and any of the things that come along with aging and the toxins in the environment. It's fantastic.
This is stuff you pay hundreds of dollars for at the spas, lady, when you go.
Yeah.
This is very affordable, and it's very effective.
Yes.
I've seen it myself. I'm looking at Ron.
The skin looks good, man.
Before and after.
Good. Wow. Thank you.
You know?
Thank you. So check out Javago, and also if you put in the code word skin, you get $10 off, and I think it's going to be like $20.
That's SKIN.
But I'm telling you, if you guys order order 2 bottles, not one, because you order one and you run out, you're going to wish you had some more. Guarantee it. So check it out. Nanobright. Go to www.nanobright.com. I don't even think you have to put the www in anymore.
That's NANNO?
NANOBRYTE.
Okay.
Nanobright.com. Put in the promo code SKIN, and you get $10 off. And it's, like I said, it'll come out to $20, and you should get 2 of them. Trust me, get 2.
Because you wish you had it.
It really starts to take effect in like week 2 or week 3 after using it twice a day. But I'm telling you, once you do, and if you're the type of guy that shaves a lot, because I shave almost every day, trust me, it's good for you. Very good for you. So let's get back to the stuff at hand. Now, did you hear about the Maine Governor, Paul LePage?
No, what happened?
I got to play the first video first. There's a video of some controversial statements he made about.
He's a Republican, right?
He's a Republican. Oh, hell yeah. He's a Republican. He made some controversial statements about drug use and black people in Maine.
Oh, I got to hear this.
Hey,
where's it at?
He's out of Maine. Do you have it?
Jarvis have it?
Jarvis, cue it up for us.
This is a good team. This is Governor Paul Richard LePage. I would like to talk to you about your comments about my being a racist, you sucker. And I want to talk to you. I want you to prove that I'm a racist. I've spent my life helping black people, and you little son of a socialist sucker, I need you to, I want you to record this and make it public, because I am after you. Thank you.
Who's he talking to?
Damn. He was talking to someone in the media that accused him of being racist. But this is the point. We have another video, which were his original comments that led to them accusing him of being racist.
That was some time ago, right?
When he made those original comments, it was some time ago.
Yeah, right. Okay,
but then this
newspaper
reporter accused him of being a bigot, and so he came back at the newspaper reporter with that response. So do you have that video of his original comments? Listen to this, Woody. Cue it up for us, Jarvis.
These are people that take drugs. These are guys that are named D-Money, Smoothie, Shifty, these type of guys that come from Connecticut, New York. They come up here, they sell their heroin, then they go back home. Incidentally, half the time they impregnate a young white girl before they leave, which is a real sad thing, because then we have another issue that we got to deal with down the road.
Who are these people? But you know what? Listen, I mean, there's some
Damn.
truth to it. D-Money, Smoothie.
I didn't know someone named D-Money.
You know, I
It's
lived on the
terrible.
East Coast, on the Eastern Seaboard. I lived in Delaware, Boston, Maryland, New York, New Jersey. You know, so there is a lot of traffic up and down that Eastern Seaboard there. But, you know, he just took it to the next level.
He took it to the next level. Oh. I mean, some stuff, I know. It's like one of those things where you're
he's
like,
a
well,
governor?
He's the governor of Maine.
Oh, goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
it's I don't know.
Maybe that's,
It was like, but after saying stuff
heard
like
it all.
that, how could you not be accused of some sort of racial, some sort of prejudging in regards to a certain segment of the population? And you got to remember, within every community, there is a subculture within every community. So within the African American community, there is a subculture within our culture that does kind of keep that kind of stereotypical thing going. You know, the people that do the stupid stuff. There's a portion, a small sliver, but it's not us in general. It's a subculture within our culture. With Latinos, it's a subculture within their culture. Within Caucasian or white America, there's a subculture within that culture as well.
Oh, absolutely.
That tends to, you know, do deviant types of deals. But we don't paint everybody with that same brush. But it seems on the Republican side, and with the help of, you know, media outlets like Fox News, where they just take the subculture within any group of people and they allow that subculture to just rule. Like, wow.
Yeah.
This is all.
That's
of
because they don't know. That's because they haven't exposed themselves to other people. They're fine within their circle of influence, circle of folks that they hang out with, that they go, you know, bowling with or play golf with, or you know, you gotta listen, folks. Here's the bottom line. You know,
what's the bottom line?
The bottom line is you have to want to change. You have to want to learn about other people. If you are a bigot, if you're prejudiced, if you find yourself not comfortable around other people, you have to force yourself to engage other people. Don't engage Pookie and however he described these guys.
Don't engage
those guys. Engage a family, a husband, a wife, kids, someone in your neighborhood.
So you saying that everybody should go out and make a black friend?
Make a black friend. Make an Asian friend.
That's
make a black friend.
basically what you were saying, man.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know, you know, like your guy. You gave me that example of the police sergeant, and he said all he does every day is arrest
a former neighbor
black guys in the inner city.
Now, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Well, I'm summarizing. I mean,
you're summarizing. Like,
but his exposure to African Americans has always been negative.
So let me go back.
And you were his neighbor, and he thanked you because you gave him. An understanding of the
so
other side.
I did my part. I Jackie Robinson some relations for all of us. So basically what it was is that my former neighbor of mine, he used to come over, and he was a sheriff here in Los Angeles, and he used to come over to my place. We may have a beer. We would talk politics and just stuff. And we got really comfortable. He's became a friend of mine, and he told me, he said, Ron, you know what? One of the best things that ever happened to me was you being my neighbor. He said, because the shift I work, I'm always, quote unquote, in the hood from midnight until 6 or 7 a.m. He said, this is the shift I work, and I work in the toughest area of L.A. And if I had just my experience of dealing with minorities based on what I saw from midnight to 7 a.m., then I would have a bad outlook on what this community looks like, not thinking to the fact that, well, most of the people are asleep during that time because they have to work in the morning.
Right.
So I'm only out there with that element, that subculture within the culture, that's all I'm exposed to. But just me coming here, sitting, talking to you and having stuff like that, it's almost like therapy to me, because now I'm reinforced the fact that what I'm dealing with is not the norm.
Thanks,
so
Ron. You saved some lives, brother.
I saved some lives. He hasn't beat anyone that I know of.
Because of you.
Because of me. All right. So listen, hey.
So I want to give I really feel for the folks in Italy with the 6.2 magnitude earthquake there that killed 267 people.
That's crazy.
That's devastating to this small town, and there's been over 1,000 aftershocks, which is, I mean, you talk about your nerves on end. It's just unbelievable that they have to deal with this, and my blessings and my prayers go out to you folks over there in Italy, and I hope you get through this.
Absolutely. I've never been to Italy, although I used to live in Europe. I've always wanted to
Beautiful
visit
place.
Italy. One of the things that is the charming part of just about anywhere you go in the world that has any sort of history, especially places like Italy and old Europe, is the architecture.
Oh, yeah.
Is the fact that some of these places seem like you can, 200 or 300 years ago, you can be in that
500 years.
same, you can be dropping that same spot, and many of those same structures will look the same.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they weren't up to par as far as our earthquake standards are, so they all came crumbling down.
Exactly. So this is one of those times wherein you feel bad for the people, you feel bad for the culture, you feel bad for humanity, because this could happen anywhere. We live in L.A. I live in L.A. and we live.
I think we've got one coming. The big one's coming.
Well, let's not wish that upon us.
Hey, I'm not wishing. It's not going to happen because of me. But I'm saying that we are in earthquake-prone country. And
it scares the stuff. I know I visited L.A. before I moved here. I think this was 1998, 1999. I was staying at one of my college friends who lived out here. And I had my first earthquake, and it was big to me because at that time I lived in Kansas, and I was out here, and I remember I was using the restroom, standing up using the restroom. It started shaking.
Went sitting down?
No, I went sit down.
Okay.
But anyway, I sprinkled the entire wall of the restroom because of
the earthquake.
Because of the earthquake, yeah, it was terrible. Anyway, that's too much information. You said what I said. You fool. Only Woody.
Oh man, and then also before we move on to the next subject, I know we were talking earthquake in Italy. And, Kobe Bryant's from Italy. But did you know they had a Los Angeles declared 8/24/16 Kobe Bryant Day?
Yeah.
Yeah, August 24th, 2016.
Yeah, good for him.
Because his jersey was 8 and 24, right? Yeah. So that's how they come with 8/24.
Only Laker fans care about that. I got much love for Kobe.
There's a lot of Laker fans out there. So all you folks, that's Kobe Bryant Day here in Los Angeles, 8/24.
So get you a
August
gift.
24.
Get you a gift for Kobe
Send
Bryant.
Kobe a gift.
Except for the people in Colorado, they don't want to hear that. But anyway, so back to politics. So we got about Kobe. We talking about the earthquake. It was good for Kobe.
Yeah, good for Kobe. Yeah, he deserves it.
Shout out to Mamba.
Yeah.
So
good job, Kobe.
Steve Bannon, who was the head of Breitbart.com, which is an alternative media outlet, and they peddle primarily in what I call hate media. Far right. Basically, they are the type of news organizations similar to what I think of Matt Drudge, wherein they foster conspiracy theories. They really jumped on this whole President Obama birther thing, which I didn't like at all. They're basically the National Enquirer of politics on the right. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, of all the people in the world that Donald Trump, I was about to say President Trump.
Woo! Don't say that, please.
That Donald Trump chose to
hire
and to have lead his and prep him for the debates and things of that sort and lead his media campaign. He chooses this guy.
And so there's going to be some underhanded blows.
It's going to get so much dirtier. It's
going
to get dirty. We think we're less than 80 days from the election. It's going to get so much dirtier, I should say. It's going to be so incendiary. It's going to be so muddy that whoever wins this election, which I pray and hope is Hillary, it's going to come out of it so disliked by a segment of the population, so distrusted by a segment of the population, with so many conspiracy theories and this negative stuff said about them, that I wonder whether or not they'll really be able to govern. I just don't know.
Well, I just hope she stays above all of the name throwing and the low blows that are coming. We know they're going to come. I'd like to see her stick to the facts and talk about her record, talk about what she's been able to accomplish. Mm-hmm. There's light on these emails. I mean, it's going to be there. That's all they've got. And Benghazi, it's kind of falling by the wayside in terms of, some of her negative encounters while she was in office. But listen, I mean, let's talk about how we're going to govern this nation and move it forward. And I want to see that. If Donald Trump starts hitting below the belt, she's going to have to figure out a way to stay above the fray, and not bend down to his level. Otherwise, we're just going to see two kids on stage. He did it. No, she did it. No, he did it. Just really not covering any of the issues. And for America, that's embarrassing because the whole world is watching. I mean, come on, let's do what we're all expecting, and that is talk about the issues.
True, very true. Are we gonna do word to the mother today or not?
We can. We could do word to your mother. You ready for it?
Y'all ready to have your mind blown with all this knowledge I have? Woo!
Uh-oh. Word, mother. Oh, shit. Yeah.
We haven't done it in a while, so Woody, you'll have to explain to the audience what word to your mother is.
Thank you, Johnny, for that introduction. Well, word to your mother, we simply have 5 words. Ron's vocabulary is borderline impressive. If you're in the 5th grade, yes. And so what we do is we have 5 words, and Ron will spell and give the definition of these words.
I ain't spelling them all.
You're not going to spell it? I'll spell it for you, and then you give me the definition. Okay. All right? And so Jarvis, our producer, engineer in the studio.
Producer extraordinaire
is
Jarvis.
Going to award his correct
He's dropping
answers.
his new hit single. No,
He's going to award his correct answers with a, what is it? Can you give me a little sample? There you go. And if he gets it wrong, he will. Yes, and Jarvis likes that. So
yeah, he likes that buzzer too much, actually.
Yeah. All right, so the first word is burgeonous. What, you want me to spell it?
Burgeonous.
No, I'm sorry.
Spell it for me.
B-O-U-R-G-E. No,
spelling, actually, I think it's go B-O-U-R-G.
You know what? No, this is the wrong.
That's it.
Word.
That's it. B-O-U-R-G. I think is it bourgeoisie? Bourgeoisie?
Yeah,
bourgeois.
That's another word. But
that's if that's a real word. But how did you pronounce
burgeonous. But that's the word.
That's the joke of the day.
That's the word I want you to pronounce. I mean, to spell. Give me the definition of.
It's bourgeoisie.
That is another word. Yeah.
Bourgeoisie. He said burgeonous. Oh my God! Did you just talk about that woman on Fox News? Woody.
Hey,
it's
man.
All good, brother. It's all good. It's all right. I'm with you, man. I got you. I got you back.
Do you
bourgeoisie. That's basically someone who's like materialistic, snobby kind of.
Right, but I didn't say bourgeoisie. I said burgeonous. B-E-R-G-E-N-H-U-S.
What?
Am I pronouncing that right? Yeah.
Burgeonous. I don't know what burgeonous means. You got me right there. I have no clue what burgeonous. What does burgeonous? Because when you spell the other one, there's no N in there anywhere. So you said burgeonous and it's spelled B-O-U-R-G-E-O-I-S-I-E. That's bourgeoisie. There's no N in there. So where you get
I didn't get to that one yet. So
well, give me the next word, man.
Burgess is a city in Norway, man. All right, here we go. Next one. Let me look this up. Okay, so bourgeoisie, since you want to do bourgeoisie, did you give me that one already?
Yes.
Okay, catch-22.
Catch-22. A catch-22 is like a situation. That's a situation where you're pretty much damned if you do, damned if you don't. There's no good choice.
A dilemma or different decision from which there are mutually adverse outcomes or results.
That's a catch-22. Yeah, I think most people knew that. Yeah. Thank you. Do the word to your mother one more time.
Word to your mother.
All right, so here we go.
Thank you.
Lysis. Lysis.
That's when you are starting to heal from disease or something. It's like the degradation of the disease in a person's system.
Yep. Degradation of a cell.
Degradation of a cell. It doesn't say it's not a disease. It's a cell.
It's a decline of disease symptoms. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's close enough.
Cool.
Word to your mother.
Thank you.
All right. Torrid.
Torrid is like.
Wait, did he get the buzz for the first one? Okay. Good. Torrid.
Torrid is like hot. A torrid summer day, hot and
hot and dry.
Hot and dry. There you go. Torrid.
Yeah, that's like
a torrid,
Phoenix.
a torrid love affair.
Yeah.
Hot.
Word to your mother.
Thank you, Jarvis. Thank you.
Okay, let's see. Pyrrhic victory.
Spell it for me.
P-Y.
Pyrrhic victory. Oh my God. Pyrrhic victory.
I say Pyrrhic, you say Pyrrhic, whatever. P-Y-R.
Uh-huh.
Is that okay? P-Y-R-R-H-I-C.
Yeah, Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see any. After P, there's no H, so it wouldn't be Pyrrhic. It would be Pyrrhic. P-Y-R-R-H-I-C. Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah, there you go.
Woody.
There you go.
We're going to have a little hooked on phonics session for Woody before he does Word to Your Mother. I know what a Pyrrhic victory is. A Pyrrhic victory, this is a good day. A Pyrrhic victory, I'm trying to figure out how to use it in a sense. Oh, a Pyrrhic victory is almost like when you like you have
Is there a time limit on this?
Man, be quiet. It's coming to me. I'm just trying to. I know what
think
it
it should
means.
be
I'm
a
just
10
trying to explain it properly.
5 second
It's
time
like
limit.
if you win something, but you, in the course of you winning, you've experienced such pain that it feels like you lost anyway. It's like if you, let's say you go to a war with somebody, but you won the war, but if you lose all, your man.
Okay, that's good enough, man.
I mean,
victory that inflicts such a devastating toll on the victor that it is tantamount to defeat. So that's like a football game, like a Super Bowl game or something. These guys go out there and they.
No, it's not.
They go. Why
Not
couldn't
Super
it
Bowl.
be?
No, because it doesn't feel like a defeat if you won a Super Bowl, Woody.
I said it can defeat your body can be defeated.
But you won a Super Bowl.
Okay. You pick a football game.
No, not a football game, but a Pyrrhic victory would be something more akin to if you go to battle. Let's say you go to battle, a ship battle.
Can't be a game.
No, a ship battle.
Can't be anything physical.
No, probably not. It's not physical. It's not about sport. It's like a battle, like a war, where you have two navies going at each other. But during the course, you win the war because the other navy has surrendered. But during the course of that war, you lost all your warships too. So although you won, technically, you lost everything you had. So you feel like, come on, man.
Can't be physical.
So did you get it right or what?
No,
I got it right. I got it right.
No, he got it.
No, I got that right. I got that right.
Give him a ding too, man.
I got it right.
He got it right.
That's that inner hater and Woody just don't want to give me my credit.
I drank my haterade today.
Hey, listen. Hey, guys, we're running. We got to play the song, man. I got that right. Thank you. We got to get an updated song. That song is, I don't even.
Word to your mother.
That was off Jarvis's new hit single. His debut album, Word to Your Mother.
Hey, listen,
coming
man.
out January 13th, 1992. That's
Word to your mother. Hey, you guys going to the LA Food and Wine Festival tonight?
No, real quick, Woody, we go there because we only have a couple of minutes.
Okay.
The last few shows, and I'm going to continue to do this, I'm going to bring a highlight and a spotlight to Hope for Adam. Adam Creef is a friend of mine. He's a father of 3. He's developed a rare form of blood cancer, and we're looking for donors. There, go to hashtag Hope for Adam, HOPE, the number 4, and then Adam spelled out, and look at the different flyers because they're having donor drives all across the country. Adam and his family are very close to me. Very close to me. They're like a second family of mine, and we want to find a cure for Adam. And if you donate, and the donation is just a simple cotton swab in your cheek. They test it, and if you come out to be a match, then you'll be contacted. But that's all it takes. It takes about 5-10 minutes to go to cotton swab, and it's just that simple.
Get well
but
soon,
if
Adam.
it doesn't help Adam, if yours doesn't help Adam, it can help someone else. But we are believing that we are going to find a match for Adam, and we're believing that it's going to happen any day now. So
Yes.
Adam, we're with you. Love you, man. And and we're praying that we find a match for you very soon.
And listen,
Okay.
for all you guys who need to take your girl on a date this weekend, the 6th Annual Los Angeles Food and Wine Festival is going on from tonight through August 28th. So it's in front of the Walt Disney Concert Hall downtown. So that's a great time. I've been to that a couple of times. Food and Wine Festival.
Okay, and as we close out, a couple more shout-outs. Again, I want to give my parents happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
My parents celebrated their 43rd wedding anniversary this past week, so happy anniversary.
40.
And I also want to give a special shout-out to my grandmother, who's listening to the show. I love you, Grandma.
I saw your grandmother's photo. Your grandmother's cute. I should
my grandma's
my
cute.
grandfather. Is she single, your grandmother?
No, my granddaddy passed away. I'm going to whoop you.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm going to beat. You guys could see Woody
is she single?
patched up next week. No, she ain't single, man. It's my grandma. It's my grandma. Man.
I mean, your grandmother, like, she dates, right?
It's time to end this show.
I mean, she should meet my grandfather.
It's time to end this show. Hey, guys. Senior. Thank you guys for starting your weekend with us. And we really appreciate you listening to us. And on behalf of my mentally impaired friend, Woody Wilson, thank you for listening to another edition of Focus with Ron Frierson. Please enjoy your week.
Have a good weekend.
In the future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.